day by day. There's an ICE raid that has been happening since, what, February 23rd? It's 24th, so since yesterday. People are getting arrested.
Trend day Arago gang members that are in the country illegally. That's a good thing that that's happening, thank God. Huh?
What articles? Can you cite them?
Yep, I mean, you could literally look it up right now. It just happened, what was it, this morning or yesterday?
Honey, no. Not me looking it up. You look it up.
Well, if he was to cite them, how would you even know if he's telling the truth?
Because I want to ask you guys an honest question. Since you support mass deportation, do you believe that you should be deported?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Do you believe that you should be deported?
No.
Okay, but you're not from here.
I'm a naturalized citizen.
Okay, but didn't Trump is trying to get rid of naturalized citizenship?
No, he's not.
He's trying to get rid of birthright.
That's equal.
Exactly, but
No,
we're not citizens.
So, no, your birthright. So your family came here from other countries.
We are citizens because our parents are citizens.
And your parents...
I actually read that executive order that she was referring to when it says Donald Trump is trying to get rid of birthright citizenship. Because sometimes we forget that these orders, these executive orders and these things are publicly available. And in the order, it specifically states that he was trying to get rid of it for people who, for one, were illegal, I don't know the right term for it. Illegal citizens, illegal immigrants. And he was trying to get rid of it for people who are overstaying their welcome, I guess, on a visa in America. Basically saying if you are not supposed to be here, you should not be able to have kids here who are citizens. That's what the order said. I'm just reading it out. So what she's saying is not really true. It's kind of based on a lie. The foundation of her statement is a lie. But let's continue.
Are citizens because your grandparents and your other grandparents and your great-great-great-grandparents came here from other countries. Therefore, you are not from here.
There's a naturalization process when it comes to becoming a U.S. citizen in the United States.
You are not officially from here. You guys are on native land. So,
do you think that's a really good faith argument, actually, what you're saying right there?
It is. Do you believe that your argument is in good faith?
Yes, it's a proper understanding of the 14th Amendment, which applies to Americans such as you, such as him, such as me, but does not apply to technically. I mean, it's never been, it needs to be debated in the Supreme Court.
Is Americans strictly white?
No.
Okay, then who are you deporting?
People
that are in the country illegally.
Okay, but so you brought up naturalized citizenship.
Sorry, I'll let you talk to one of us at a time. How about that?
Happens? What do you believe that process should be? Because people are trying to go through that process and are still getting arrested.
Yeah, well, if you cross...
And they're trying to do it correctly.
Right, well, you're not trying to do it correctly if you violated 8 U.S. Code 1325.
But the people who are doing it correctly are still getting corrected.
No, if you
ICE
cross
is doing raids currently.
It's illegal to cross the border without permission of an immigration official. If you've done that, you're not doing it properly and you've breached the law.
But they're doing that.
They're not doing that. Nobody who came into the country legally. Nobody who came into the country legally is being deported unless they overstayed.
Do you mind if we ask you for an example of, large example of people that are being widespread deported, even though they're legal immigrants?
There's articles currently going out day by day. There's an ICE raid that has been happening since, what, February 23rd? It's 24th, so since yesterday. People are getting arrested.
Yeah, Trend day Arago gang members that are in the country illegally. That's a good thing that that's happening, thank God. Huh?
What articles? Can you cite them?
Yep, I mean, you could literally look it up right now. It just happened, what was it, this morning or yesterday?
Honey, no. Not me looking it up. You look it up.
Right, we don't need...
Well, if he was to cite them, how would you even know if he's telling the truth? He can just cite a source that doesn't exist, and you won't even know. And the reason I'm saying that is because her entire argument was over before it began. When you sit here and try to justify illegal immigration, you already lost. And I'm not saying that because based off of my opinions of illegal immigration. I'm just going off of a legal standpoint. It's in the name. It's illegal immigration. It was never going to last. I'm going to be honest. It was eventually going to come to an end. The problem is that, here's the thing. You want people to be able to find solace in America. To find a place in America where they're safe, where they're away from harm. You want more immigration. What you don't want is unsanctioned immigration. Firstly, America is based on the premise of laws. It's based on the premise of fairness and equality. That's what America was built on in our Constitution. So when you're arguing for something like illegal immigration, it is the antithesis of our Constitution. Because we actually have a legal immigration process. And I'm not going to sit here and say illegal immigration is evil. I'm not going to sit here and say that. What I will sit here and say is that it was bound and destined to fail from the beginning. And this is not just a Trump thing. Obama deported he deported a lot of illegal immigrants before there was a Trump. So this is not a democratic or conservative or right or left leaning thing. This is more so just a fact. But the problem is you don't like the fact that Donald Trump is deporting illegal immigrants. Because no one ever talks about when Obama deported illegal immigrants. He's like the second highest behind Trump. No one talks about that. They only talk about it when Trump does it because they just don't like Trump. And I'm just going to sit here and say, you're not going to win this argument by arguing off of something that's just inherently false and inherently against the law of the land, i.e. the Constitution.
To be condescending,
I'm not being condescending because you're telling me to look it up.
Well, we just asked you for a citation
I'm asking you for questions, and I want to see citations. And I don't want to see it from Breitbart. I don't want to see it from non-authorized sources. I want to see it from proper journalism sources.
How about this? While he pulls that up, you pull up an article of a legal citizen who's been deported. Somebody who did not cross the border illegally with permission from an immigration official, verified.
Are you looking it up as well?
I'm just waiting for you to pull one up and then I'll read it.
I'm pulling it up. The internet's slow here, honey.
Yeah, no worries.
Alrighty, let's see. What do we got?
NPR. ICE has arrested scores of migrants in the U.S. who have no criminal records.
Criminal
record. That's
criminal meaning like violent offenders. Anyone who's violated 8 U.S. Code 1325, improper entry by alien is.
Will you tell me what U.S. Code 1325 is?
Yeah, improper entry by alien. So anyone who crosses the border without permission from an immigration official,
and
which
also,
all of those people have done.
Describe. Okay, so let's take for example, there was a TikToker that I saw recently who has a Russian boyfriend and is currently trying to get him the right papers, and he's having difficulty getting citizenship in this country. Should he be mass deported even though he looks like he's from America?
I'm sorry, was he? I missed it.
Are you talking about Riley Gaines' husband?
I don't know.
Is he overstaying
no, he's not overstaying. He's not overstaying a visa. He's properly going through the right process. Exactly. What's the problem? So you guys say you support mass deportation. Is that only strictly just for certain groups of people?
It's for people who are not on a visa.
Did we not clarify this?
Oh no,
people
you did not.
Yeah,
so
people that entered.
Who do you believe?
Can I explain?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, people that entered the country illegally between legal ports of entry and or visa overstays.
Did her husband enter illegally?
We don't know because we don't know who she is.
Okay, then how do you know about the other people?
I don't even know who she's talking about.
Yeah, we don't.
Do we miss who you said? Who is it?
Just some random white girl TikToker.
It sounds like she's talking about
Riley
Riley Gaines.
For specifics.
Whose husband is violating like a
so
vaccine
he knows.
mandate. No, it sounds like you're talking about Riley Gaines. Her husband is British, and the reason he's not.
That guy.
Yeah, so he's not getting citizenship because he doesn't have a vaccination, which is bogus. I agree with you.
Okay, so do you believe in his mass deportation, him being deported?
No, because he's here legally on a visa.
But he can't get through the proper papers.
He's not being granted citizenship via the visa.
But even then, that one thing is stopping him. Say if he overstays his stay.
These are not the same conversations. It's around the same. It's literally not.
I'm giving you guys the same talking points that you are giving me.
I'm not gonna lie, she lost me. I don't know where she's going with this conversation. I'm not gonna lie. This is not the same conversation. She's talking about Riley Gaines' husband who's not getting citizenship because he won't get a vaccine. I don't even understand how we got to this point from illegal immigrants crossing the border. I really don't get it. Wow. I'm trying to make sense of her argument. I really am, but she just makes it so hard because, I get it. You want humanity, you want empathy when it comes to people who need refuge in America. That's what you want. That's what you really want. But to try to defend illegal immigration as if it's, and I don't want to use the terms right and wrong. I'm more so going to use the terms legal and illegal, laws of the land, as if it's going to be what the nation does. I'm going to say that. Trying to defend illegal immigration as if it's going to be what America long-term stands by is just not going to work out for you. America will not long-term, I don't care who's in office. It could be the most liberal person these 4 years and the most conservative person the next 4 years. Long-term, 100 years down the line, you cannot bet money that America will support illegal immigration because it's just not a law. All it's going to take is someone to come in office and say, no, we're not doing this anymore. If it's not written in law, it's not going to last. But I don't know where she's getting with this.
Okay.
So
Here's ICE arrests nearly 200 Tren de Aragua members, prepares deportation flights to Venezuela. This was just a report that I pulled up from February 5th, but this is what being widely reported on. This is one of the most violent gangs in the world that Joe Biden and his open border Democrats imported to terrorize the United States, which is just really loving and amazing.
yeah, you know, it's also one of the most violent gangs in America. Proud Boys.
No, it's not.
Yes, they are.
No, it's not.
Yes, they are.
Not by a long shot, actually.
Not by a long shot. Okay, how about the KKK then? They're a gang.
Name me one murder the KKK has committed in the last 20 years.
Oh, honey.
No. Let her answer.
Oh, honey.
That's fine.
In the last 20 years?
Yeah,
In the last 20 years. One, I can't give you an example, but they have a hard...
The most violent gang in the U.S. You
Oh,
can't
yeah,
give one
absolutely.
example of a murder over the last 20 years?
lynchings, honey. Lynchings by lynching.
50 years ago, they're not a pertinent problem right now, right? We should be focused on
They're
people
not
who
a
are actively
pertinent problem
slaughtering
right
people
now?
in mass.
Oh my gosh, your brains are tiny.
I
This
think
is
you're
hilarious.
overestimating how much of a threat those groups are. Those people are evil.
Oh, no,
Like when it
they
comes to
are
the KKK,
evil.
evil,
But here's
bad
the thing.
people. I
You
condemn
guys
them
don't-
totally, but I'm not going to pretend like they're like terrorizing Americans everywhere.
They are. But that you
it's
just
not a
showed me.
thing.
It's like, oh, these are the most violent groups. This is the most violent.
Tren de Aragua is way
Oh,
more
they've
violent
been
than the
hurting
KKK.
American people. These are the examples that you're giving me. I'm giving you examples. I'm saying that Proud Boys are the largest gang in America. That KKK is the largest gang.
You're
in
saying
America.
that Proud Boys are the largest gang in America?
Most violent. Excuse my language.
What is your basis for saying that, if you don't mind me asking?
I'll pull it up.
Okay. I just think she's a little confused. She's a little confused. They're a hate group. And I think she's inflating hate group with violent group, meaning violence such as murder. That's the most violent thing you can do. When it comes to violence, pure destruction, you're referring the KKK in 2025 to the MS-13. The MS-13 runs countries. They run entire territories where they smuggle weapons, they smuggle humans, they commit violent acts of crime. So I get what she's saying. That's a hate group for sure, without a doubt. And if anyone supports that, no one who watches my channel supports that. I'm gonna just be honest. But that's not necessarily a nationwide violent group relative to, I guess, the MS-13, what they're referring to. But I will say I do wish both groups were abolished. I'm not going to lie. Why wouldn't I? I don't want any hate groups just roaming around the country. I don't believe in any of that. I'm sorry, I don't. It is what it is. But it's LFR JoJo. If you like this video, comment down below. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, let me know. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.